What's up? I have very little time with the all-new BMW X5. So this is the 2024 model. Production will start this year in April. Inspired the X5 with a lot of news. So let's get started. I'm just going to switch my view to this and I'm going to talk you through all the changes that have been made. So as you can see, an entirely new front, and I have to say in person it looks so much more muscular and beefy and, well, manly than the pre-LCI X5. It's a lot more angular, it's less rounded, it's less of a big X3 and more of a sporty dynamic BMW, if you ask me. So this is also equipped with the M Sport Pro Pack. So you have these wheels, the big red brake calipers, and as you can see, electrified by eye. This is the new 50e model, so the successor to the 45e model, which was a big hit in the Netherlands especially. As you can see, new light unit design. We don't have the traditional laser light units anymore, but this is just a lot better if you compare it to the pre-LCI, if you ask me. Just look at all those straight cut lines in the lower part of the bumper. It really does look very cool, I have to say. Very modern, and overall just a great change for the front end of this car. Now let's walk around it. And when we get to the rear, you can see that we have new rear light units, and they look really cool with this 3D design. So as you can see, I can really put my fingers in between the light units. It's not like a closed cap, a full 3D design light unit, as you can see. Apart from the rear lights, it's not really all that different. We do have that new 50e badge, and of course the split tailgate, as you can see. So we can also open up that. And let's close it up again. And when we get to the left side, we see that we have a charge port right here, because this is the 50e model. So this is where you charge it. So the battery power has been upgraded for the 50e model. I'll show you the engine. So it's connected to the B58 engine, which also has been revised. There it is, straight six, single turbo, and I'll show you a spec sheet of all the changes that have been made. The 45e went to a 50e, and the M50i with the N63 4.4 V8 has been replaced with a BMW M engine. So with the M60i, it's called now, you get a S68 4.4 liter V8, as with the pre-facelift model, 530 horsepower and 750 newton meters. So if you look at the specs, you won't suspect that it's an entirely new engine, but it is, because it's the engine from the new X5M, and that got an entirely new engine. Again, on paper, spec-wise, there hasn't been an upgrade, because the X5M competition now has 625 horsepower, 750 newton meters, so same as before. But the engine is entirely new and entirely different. So I'm really curious how the car will feel, what all this new stuff actually means, because this is not just a simple facelift, no. The technical update for this LCI is incredible. It's like a new gen of BMW X5 and X5M. So In the interior, we now have the iDrive 8, and I'll just sit in the rear so you can really see the interior well. And, well, as you can see, for the first time I think I prefer this iDrive 8 to the iDrive 7, because the iDrive 7 system for the X5 was just a bit too small, and this really fits the car. I think this is a lot better than for a 2 Series or a 3 Series, where I prefer the iDrive 7 system. But with a big car like the X5, this iDrive 8 looks really, really good and well proportioned. So yeah, for the X5 it is a great update. And you also get the new Apple CarPlay, with which you can operate part of the car. So that's why we've lost buttons. I know people don't like that, losing buttons, but I am confident that with the new Apple CarPlay it will all really work well. And I think that's also why BMW has kept the iDrive 8 system that simple, because it's just, you know, let me show you guys. Why didn't they ditch the horrific crystal controllers? I really don't like those. We don't have a gear lever anymore, so we now have this ugly crystal switch. So tacky if you ask me. But as I said, you know, iDrive 8, it's just a bit boring and simple, but I think that's because of the new Apple CarPlay that's coming. You know, they didn't want to invest in the design of iDrive 8s because everyone's going to use Apple CarPlay. That will basically take over the entire software side and GUI side of the car, I suspect. I think that passenger display over there is also new. Not sure about that. What I do really like are these M Sport seats. Really comfortable, really snug. I think overall this is such an awesome LCI, such a dramatic update for the X5. I thought this gen of BMW X5 was a bit boring, and I preferred the X6, which for me was a bit more exciting, but I think with the LCI they really fixed that for me. So yeah, I think it's a really pretty BMW with awesome engines, and I think the X5 is ready for its second lifespan.